Hello. This is my presentation for my initial research and ideas for proximity chat. When researching, there seems to be a general consensus that proximity chat is an overall positive for players. It enhances gameplay by creating a more immersive experience which encourages more emergent storytelling which is shared between players. However, this is circumstantial, with these positives being mainly observed in players that already have pre-established trust between them, such as friends or family. Players are forced to engage with proximity chat, particularly in strangers. This can lead to a rise in anxiety, and as such alternatives should be considered where possible. On the implementation side of my research, Vivox can be used for both Unity and Unreal implementations, features cross-platform functionality and direct and group voice and text communication services. It even features save text which can be used to screen for player toxicity, often noticeable in a competitive scenario. Pernet is a networking library for Unity that can be used to get players connected and can be used to broadcast messages between players with some helpful guides and documentation. Meta Voice Chat is an open-source, self-contained proximity voice chat solution for Unity. User testimonies show that the implementation is simple and the documentation is thorough with video tutorials to help with guidance. My research also covered how developers use proximity chat in-game. Content Warning is a cooperative horror game where players record their interactions with monsters, audio included, and try not to die. Repo is a cooperative horror game where players have to collect objects and try not to die. They will have to listen out and stay quiet when avoiding certain monsters. Phasmophobia is a cooperative horror game where players have to work together to identify the type of ghost haunting the site. The game features radios and can recognize when players say certain names or phrases to incite more scares. Lethal Company is a cooperative horror game where players need to collect scrap and survive traversing monster-infested areas to reach a quota. The game features radios, a flourishing modding scene that experiments with proximity chat and even proximity text. All of these games have a shared genre that works well to promote immersive cooperation while offering the comedic potential to keep players engaged even if they were to fail their tasks. Peak is another co-op survival game. I haven't had the opportunity to play Peak too much, so I'm not quite sure what it's about. I'm sure it's good, just personally never tried it myself. I've had several ideas for proximity chat following my research, such as proximity chat alternatives. There could be alternative methods of communicating that keep the same chaotic energy of proximity chat, maybe gibberish, hand signs, or perhaps even something reminiscent of echolocation. There could be more exploration around use cases where proximity chat may not be appropriate for the genre, such as a racing game or a drama of some kind. Communicating, I find my volume fluctuates depending on my facial expressions or gestures. Perhaps a player model could be used to impact how a player sounds. Thank you for listening.